Some more reveals are coming out with Brock Lesnar. We'll also see what's up with Triple H, Liv Morgan, and more. Starting things off with Triple H because this is a growing fan conversation, and it looks like the fan assumption could be true after all. Ever since the Triple H regime started, Triple H had been a core centerpiece of the post shows for all of the premium live events. The structure for the post shows was simple. Several of the big superstars that competed at that event showed up to the press conference to speak to members of the media, answer 2 or 3 questions, and then the post shows would always be topped off with an appearance from Triple H. He'll give a rundown of the show, share his thoughts and some stats about how great the show turned out. That's how the structure always was. And then that press conference style was scrapped. Triple H and WWE took jabs at their own press conference style post shows, saying that being in a small room with a few media individuals was not what the company was all about, that it was about the fans. So then that introduced us to the second version of the post show structure. Now, the show featured the big stars of the night coming up to speak on a panel with other company employees and analysts, while a big group of fans piled up behind them to watch the post show. A more controlled environment, and now they no longer had to worry about the media members asking any questions that they weren't ready for. And even this format ended with Triple H still coming out to speak with the panel and greet the fans. But strangely enough, Triple H's role in the post show has quietly been dropped in recent months without any real explanation being given. But fans believe that the explanation could actually be found if you just watch his 2 most recent post show appearances. First one of these post shows being John Cena's final match at Saturday night's main event in December 2025. Triple H came out for his usual post show appearance, but for the first time in all of his appearances on this new format for the post shows, Triple H did not really receive a warm welcome from the fans. Fans heckled the life out of Triple H during this post show in December 2025 because of his decision to have John Cena lose his final match to Gunther. So Triple H was caught a little off guard there by how much he was heckled that night by the fans. And then followed that up just a few weeks later, and Triple H was back out there on the panel for the Royal Rumble 2026 post-show. But once again, he was being heckled out of his mind by the fans behind the panel, and they were chanting all types of out-of-bounds chants that he had to ignore and just keep talking through. And after those rough back-to-back post-show panels in December and January, Triple H has not been back on the post show ever since, leading fans to speculate that he's now ducking and hiding from the post shows due to just how badly he was heckled during the most recent ones he appeared at. Triple H isn't fully hiding from the fans. He did appear a few times on the road to WrestleMania 42 for the Brock and Oba storyline. But as far as post show appearances after the 2026 Royal Rumble, Triple H has been a ghost and his position on the post show has been evaporated, which is weird because in the first few years of his regime, he was on every single post show, no matter if it was a smaller event or a bigger event, he was always there. There's no official word on why Triple H has suddenly stopped appearing on these post show events, but fans strongly feel like they're not putting him out there anymore out of the fear of him getting heckled by the live fans behind the panel. So it looks like their decision was not to send Triple H out there so that fans can't chant all these different things at him while he's up on the panel speaking. And you could definitely argue that things have gotten worse since Triple H last appeared on the post-show panel. Now you got all this new drama with TKO and how they're stepping in creatively. So if Triple H touches that post-show panel, he's likely to hear some of those TKO-related chants from fans as well. So considering everything that's going on with TKO and the fans right now, that's what really makes it seem like Triple H isn't returning to the post-shows for a mighty long time. Tensions are too high, he was getting heckled too much, and it appears that's why he's ducking the post-show appearances. His last post-show appearance on the panel was back at Royal Rumble 2026, and he just recently missed both post-show events for WrestleMania 42. So if Triple H didn't appear on the biggest show of the year, it officially seems like he won't be appearing at any other post-show anytime soon. And the heckling really appears to be the reason why. Liv Morgan and Stephanie had a pretty intense rivalry heading into the WrestleMania 42 match. Some fans were even campaigning for their match to main event night 1, especially after things flew off the rail for Randy and Cody. So a lot of people were hyped for that match. But WrestleMania 42 rolls around and Liv versus Stephanie ended up getting less than 10 minutes for the WrestleMania match. This was a huge red flag for fans and gave them flashbacks to the Divas Division days where women were given a rushed 3 to 5 minute match and that was it. So a lot of fans were extremely disappointed that a women's world title match was getting this amount of time on the WrestleMania stage. But reports came out a few days later claiming that Liv and Stephanie were both immensely banged up walking into that match. So in order not to fully cancel the matchup, they allegedly decided to keep the match short and sweet to protect them both from any further injuries. And if that's true, and if that was the reason why for the shortened match, then it's still unfortunate, but it's understandable. You definitely don't want to put those two top women in the division in harm's way if you don't have to. So keeping it short to protect them is completely reasonable. And the Raw after WrestleMania confirmed that Liv and Stephanie's feud will be continuing, most likely at Backlash. So if Liv and Stephanie are closer to 100% at Backlash, maybe that's where we could see a full-length match between Liv and Stephanie. Lots of fans were complimenting Liv and Stephanie for having great chemistry with each other during their limited match at WrestleMania. So everyone is excited to see what that great ring chemistry would look like during a full duration match, possibly at Backlash. As far as huge future plans for Liv Morgan down the road, they did tease something huge on the Raw after WrestleMania. As Rhea was saying goodbye and getting ready to leave for Smackdown, she bumped into Liv Morgan, who was sitting in the hallway. Liv told Rhea Ripley that she'll see her around, and Rhea agreed. It was a brief moment, but it was still a nice little farewell and a huge teaser for the future, all at the same time. Rhea and Liv were in a massive feud with each other just a few years ago. They've been on the same brand for many years, but now they're parting ways from each other and going on separate brands. But that little exchange shared there by the both of them definitely seems like the company's way of teasing that this may be a big feud that they revisit down the line. Given Rhea and Liv's rich history with each other, them squaring up against each other definitely gives off WrestleMania vibes. That's a match that at this point feels like it's only worthy of the WrestleMania stage and nothing else. So we'll have to see how long it takes before they turn back to Rhea versus Liv. WrestleMania 42 saw Brock Lesnar retire and also give an X signal to Paul Heyman. A lot of fans were curious about what exactly this X signal meant. For a referee to use the X signal, it usually signifies that someone is legitimately hurt and that it's not part of the script or part of the show. Brock Lesnar used the X in a very similar way. When Brock threw up the X to Paul Heyman, it was his way of pretty much telling Heyman that he's not playing around, this isn't part of the show, that this is an actual moment of retirement. That's why Paul Heyman didn't really react much to what Brock Lesnar was doing until he saw that X from Brock. That's when Heyman knew that he was being serious, and that's the moment that Paul Heyman started getting very emotional about that goodbye. As far as things go with Brock Lesnar, everyone appears to have mixed thoughts. The company and Paul Heyman appear to confirm that he's retired, but a lot of fans are curious to see where this special favor storyline goes for Gunther, because SummerSlam appears to be a prime spot for Brock to quickly come out of retirement. But if he doesn't come out of retirement for that Gunther match, he truly may be done after all. So that's something that fans are paying attention to. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.